welcome to another Gentle Yoga Flow with the JCC online yoga program. My name is Dan Richards. I've been teaching at the JCC for a couple of years. I teach a Gentle Yoga Flow, and we'll do another Gentle Yoga Flow today. Today's going to be primarily standing poses. As per usual, we start seated. So find a comfortable seated position. I'm sitting on a block. Maybe you can sit on a pillow or a book or a blanket. Anything that raises your hips up a little bit, makes sitting a little bit easier for most people. So we're going to get started. I'm here. My dog Stella is here. You may see her pop in and out of the video once in a while. I hope you enjoy the flow today. So come to a seated position. I'm sitting in the semi-cross-legged pose. Really, any seated position that's comfortable for you to start off, and just be quiet for a few moments. So start by shifting your weight back and forth, and just feel those two sitting bones at the bottom of your pelvis. If you rock back and forth, you'll feel them, and just be aware of them, and then sort of press down into the block with into whatever you're sitting on. Press down to lift up. So you're really pressing the sitting bones down and lifting up from the belly button. So lengthen your entire front body, lengthen the side body, the back body, so you're really nice and tall and straight. And see if you can just sit and maintain that nice, long, seated posture. And then take a moment, just notice how you're breathing. Probably coming into this practice, your breath is short, you're not thinking about breathing. And so as we transition, I want you to just notice what it feels like to not breathe deeply, just in that general day-to-day, or just breathing, and really transition from that mode of really unconscious breath to a more conscious breathing. So as you take a big inhale and allow the breath to lift your whole body up as tall as you can. And then as you exhale, maintain as much lift as you got on that inhale as you can. It's natural for the body to sag, drop down a little bit on the exhale. But see if you can maintain that lift. See if you can maintain the length of the back body and front body. And then from there, just continue to find a nice steady breath. So you're inhaling, lifting up. Exhale, letting it go, either letting the breath out through your mouth or your nose, whichever is more comfortable. But we want to make sure your inhales are coming in through the nose, not through the mouth. And as you sit here and breathe, close your eyes and just allow the breath to become sort of a steady pump that's running through your body. See if you can just let the breath start to inhale and exhale as you're transitioning from the world outside of your yoga practice to the mat, allowing all your attention and focus to start to be focused on your body, on your yoga practice, and even your state of mind. So allow a nice, steady, even breath on your inhale and exhales. See if you can match the length of your inhale with your exhales. And see if, as you're sitting here breathing, letting the breath go in and out, see if you can bring your attention to how your body is responding to the breath. as well as paying attention to noticing how your mind is responding to the breath. Is the mind resistant or open? And see if if you're finding some resistance, see if you can find some softening in both your body and your mind to allow the breath just to start to take over. And bring your hands to your heart center, maintaining that nice, steady, even breath. And then pause here as you're breathing to consider an intention for your practice today. Whatever that intention might be, it could be really focused on something in particular in the practice, could be more focused on something happening in your life. Really doesn't matter. What's important is to bring a sense of intention to something that matters to you. Something that you're not necessarily bringing an intention to in your day-to-day. And really carving out and allowing this space to bring that intention into the open, into your consciousness, and into your being. And then lower your hands to your thighs. Take another long, big inhale through the nose. And then let it all out through your mouth. And one more time. And one more time. And then finally, as you considered your intention, see if you can really focus on your attitude towards your practice today, bringing an openness and a sense of willing to let the body be what the body's going to be, without judgment, without really sort of bringing any sense of why doesn't my body do X or Y, into just allowing the body to be what it is today. Take a few more rounds of breath. And then gently open your eyes and relax. Come out of your seated position. And we're going to start by coming up into a standing position. And have a block, a book, a blanket stacked up, a pillow, anything that you can put in front of yourself. We're going to be using that a little bit. You can even use a chair. Really, it doesn't matter. Just something that, for those of you that can't just bend over and touch the ground, which many of us can't, it gives you something to bring your hands to when we do forward folds. So anyways, we're going to come to a standing position initially, and we'll come to Tadasana. So that's a mountain pose, a standing pose. Have your toes together, heels slightly apart, or you can bring your feet apart, hip width. Really, we want to try and get the feet straight. So we prefer not to be standing with our feet turned out. We tend to do that because we sit all day and we sit with these turned out hips. So, just for our yoga practice, we try and force the hips to rotate forward like they're naturally meant to be in general. And so you have your feet facing forward. Have your toes together and out. Stand up nice and tall, hands by your side. And then just take a moment here and lift your toes off the mat. And notice when you lift your toes, feel what parts of your feet press into the mat. And those are the parts of your feet we want to really engage, and really all our yoga poses, but in particular as we're standing here, You can gently let your toes come down to the mat again, but you're really pressing with your feet into the mat, and your toes are soft and not pressing. So come to your standing position, nice and tall. Come back to your breath. Allow the breath to go in and out. Nice and steady and even. Stand up nice and tall. Take a big inhale. Reach your arms up, straight above. Palms face each other. Reach up to the ceiling as high as you can. Let the breath be nice and steady and even. Each inhale maybe lifting just a little bit higher. And then gently allow the arms come back to the sides. And release. And then grab your block, your book, chair, blanket, whatever it is, to be in front of you. And come back to your Tadasana pose, so either your toes together or feet slightly apart. Stand up nice and tall, arms by your side. Inhale the arms up again. This time, as you exhale, soften the knees, fold at the waist. Coming all the way down, letting the arms, hands come to whatever you have to rest your hands on. Could be the floor, block, whatever it is. Let your head hang. And then on an inhale, come on all the way back up, raising your arms up overhead. And bringing the arms back by your sides. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold at the waist, soften the knees, coming forward, letting the head hang. Inhale all the way back up. Arms back by your sides. 3 more times. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold at the waist, bend the knees, let the head go all the way down. Inhale all the way back up. Arms back by the sides. Again, inhale up. Exhale, fold at the waist, soft knees, hands to the resting point. And then inhale all the way back up. And arms back by your sides. Last one, inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold all the way over, soften the knees, hands to the block or book or chair, whatever. And you might find as you do these, right, you get a little more length. So, listen to your body, see when it's available. Come on back up, arms reach up overhead, and arms back by your sides, and release, and step out. All right, I'm going to move that over here. We're going to come back to our Tadasana pose. So have your toes, either your toes together, heels apart, or feet hip width apart, whichever you prefer. Come back to your Tadasana pose. And then, this time inhale the arms up. And bring them out to the sides with the palms up. Just take a few rounds of breath with the arms out by your sides, palms up. And maybe each breath you're finding a little more rotation so that the pinkies start coming up, the thumbs turn down. And then go through a couple rounds of breath like that. Start to bring your gaze up towards the ceiling. Arch the back a little bit. And pull the arms back as if you could touch your thumbs. So you're coming into a bit of a back bend. Letting the gaze go up and up and up and up as high as you can. Opening the chest, opening the arms. Reaching back. Gaze is up. Steady breath. Feet are strong. Don't let the feet go weak. Keep the feet strong, pressing into the mat. And then come back to center. Inhale the arms up. And lower the hands back to your sides. Shake out the arms. All right. Same foot position. Toes together or slightly apart. Whichever is going to be more comfortable for you. And then we'll do chair pose. So, to do chair pose, we are going to start by really concentrating on our feet. So again, we bring our attention to our feet, maybe even lift the toes off the mat. Feel those parts of the feet that are really engaging. Really focus on them. And then, as you inhale, lift your arms up, bend your knees, sink your hips. Reach with your fingers as far as you can, so reaching out of your shoulder sockets, lift the arms up a little bit higher. Let the gaze go up between your hands. Sink your hips a little further, letting the weight come towards your heels. Lift the hands a little bit higher. Steady breath. Steady, even breath. Even inhales and exhales. One more breath. And then straighten the legs, lower the arms, and step out. Loosen the arms, and we're good. All right, back to our standard Tadasana pose. A lot of Tadasana today. So, feet can be parallel, hip width apart. Stand nice and tall. Inhale the arms up overhead. Bring the arms out to your sides. Bring your attention to your feet. Lift the toes off the mat. Strengthen the foot. Really press the feet into the mat. Soften the toes back to the mat. Take a big inhale. And then as you exhale, bring the right arm in front and under the left. Crossing at the elbows. Bringing the palms together. Whatever manifests this pose does for you will be really different for everybody. But you're trying to really cross the elbows in some way, shape, or form. And then from here, inhale, lift the elbows up. And in each inhale, you're going to try and lift the elbows just a little bit more. Inhale, lift up. Inhale, lift up. Inhale, lift up. One more time. Inhale, lift up. And then exhale, let the arms come back out to the sides, palms up. Steady breath. This time you take a big inhale. And as you exhale, cross the arms, left under right this time, palms together. Anything that manifests that looks like this gets this action really, which is crossing the elbows like this to really open up the back body, open up the shoulders. And then each inhale, you're again going to lift the elbows a little bit higher. Each inhale, trying to lift just another 1/4 inch, whatever's available. One last inhale. And then exhale, bring the arms back out to the sides. Inhale the arms up. And then lower the arms down and shake them out. Step out, relax. Okay. Now, from here we're going to do a high lunge pose. So for high lunge, we start in Tadasana facing this way. And we'll have our hands on our hips. Our feet are hip width apart. And we'll step the right foot back. So in high lunge, the heel is off the mat. You're on the ball of your back foot. Your feet are parallel. And if you're having trouble balancing in this pose, you can make your feet wider. More space between your feet will help stabilize you. So bring your hands to your hips, and your body should be nice and upright. So you don't want to be leaning forward, you want to be upright. And in this pose, you're trying to bring the front leg, the knee is over that ankle. This thigh is bent as much as you can, and the back heel is pressing towards the mat. Come back to your breath. Be nice and steady. And you may just leave your hands here. If you want a little more, you can bring your hands to your heart center. Inhale the arms up. Maybe let your gaze go up between your hands. Maybe even press your palms together. And bring your palms back to your heart center. Bring your hands to your hips. And then to come up on an inhale, bring your weight forward and step back to the front of the mat. So it's one motion. Then relax a little bit, just step around, let the legs recover. And then the same thing on the other side, so we step our left foot back. I'm going to turn around this way so you can see my left foot better. So we step back. Again, feet are parallel. Back foot, you're on the ball of that foot, the heel's off the mat. This knee is trying to be over that ankle. Thigh is as low as you can get it. You're not leaning forward, so you're pulling back. The shoulders, the upper body is nice and tall. The back heel is pressing down towards the mat. And you can stay right here. You really don't need to do anything else in this pose in this, but if you like to do the arm work, you can bring your palms together. Let the breath be nice and steady and even. Inhale the arms up. Maybe let your gaze go up between your palms. Maybe press the palms together. Hands back to your heart center. Hands to your hips. And then again, on an inhale, bring the weight forward. One motion back to Tadasana. And then come on out. Okay, so we're going to I'm going to stay on this side for a moment. So we're going to do Warrior One. So Warrior One pose, and so high lunge, the feet are parallel. For Warrior One, this back foot is turned out. Front foot is still straight. So we're in about this pose. We want to be about kind of at a heel-to-heel alignment, roughly, right? And you're going to start off in this pose. Just start with your legs in this position. And just notice here, my hips, if I'm just naturally standing here, because of this foot here turned in that direction, my hips are naturally facing this way. But for Warrior One, we really want to rotate the hips forward. And so we start by rotating the hips forward. And then we bend the front knee. Okay? So our front knee is bent. Rotate the hips as forward as we can get them. Hands to your heart center. Inhale up. Bring your hands up. Let your gaze go up between your hands. Press your palms together. Bring your hands back to your heart center. Bring your hands to your hips. And then same thing as in high lunge. To come out, I want you to take a big inhale, bend the front knee, and bring your weight forward back to Tadasana. The transition out of the pose, almost as important as how you got in the pose. So frequently we're so eager to get out of the pose that we let go of the pose before we're really out of it. So really see if you can focus on coming out of the pose in a nice, smooth, controlled manner. So we'll do the other side. Same feet position. Hands to the hips. Rotate the hips straight forward. Bend that front knee. Bring your palms together at your heart center. Inhale the arms up. Steady breath. Look up between your hands. Press the palms together. Hands back to your heart center. Bring your hands to your hips. And again, controlled coming out. Inhale, step forward. And release. Okay. So next pose is Warrior 3. I encourage you to do this either using a wall, a chair, any piece of furniture really that you have around you, which you probably have somewhere. So I'm going to demonstrate, first I'm going to just demonstrate the pose, and then I'll do it at the wall, and then we'll sort of do it. So the basic pose is one where it's a balance pose. So you're on one leg. I'll shift to this side so you can see me from this side. And this leg straightens, this leg straightens, and your body is essentially as flat as you can make it. All right? This is a hard pose. So, to make it a little more accessible, we use the wall, and we can use whatever we have available. So, in fact, I'll demonstrate. I'll use a chair as well. So one way I can do this is coming to a wall, kind of measure this way, and then I bring my leg out back, and I can walk my hands down the wall. This is really a nice way to do it. The wall's great. So that's one way to do it. You can use a chair. The back of a chair is usually about the right height. Couch, anything. So I can, again, come into the pose, bring my legs, and I've got support. All right? So this is another way to do it. So I'm going to come to the wall and do it that way. So we'll set up for it. Really, you have to start off by sort of walking your hands down the wall. Find a nice spot where your back starts to be about as low as you can get it. And then reach the back leg behind you. And the key is you really want to get your hip over your ankle. So you don't want to be, this is not going to be a good pose, right? You want to be able to get the leg almost as straight, get the hips back behind, right? So you're really in a nice, steady pose. It takes a little adjustment to find the right place, to stand, but play around with it. And you're really reaching with this back leg as far as you can, trying to straighten the arms. Right? And then to come out, just bend the knee a little bit, lower this leg back to the mat, and come on up. Do the other side, you're right in position. If your feet are next to each other, you're right in position for the other side. So you just bring your hands to the wall. Bring the other leg back behind you. Walk your hands down the wall. And again, reach back behind you with that back leg as much as you can, trying to straighten your arms as much as you can. Now, how low can you bring your chest, arms? Steady breath. And then to come out, bring your weight forward, bend the knee, bring your leg down, and push off the wall. You're in position. All right. So we've done Warrior 1, we've done Warrior 3. I like to combine the two because it's part of working on balance. So Warrior 3 is obviously a balanced pose, and it's a really nice practice to consider going in and out of your warriors here as a paired combo. And in this case, we're really worried much less about the pose, and we're really looking at the transition in and out of Warrior 3. And so we'll just do it. Let me demonstrate it quickly. So you're in your Warrior 1, in this pose. And then to come to Warrior 3, right, you're just going to bring your weight forward. Right? And then to come back to Warrior 1, you bend that standing leg knee a little bit, bring the weight back to that foot, and back to a standing pose. And then inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. All right, our goal here is to find this transition point and really be in control. So if for you to be in control is simply this, that's great. If you can control yourself, right, all of these muscles in the leg that require balance, all of those muscles are going to be firing. So let's try it out. You're in your Warrior 1. Bring the weight forward, straighten the standing leg. Be there for whatever, and then practice bending that knee, coming back and transitioning to Warrior 1, and do it again. And come on back. And come in. And come back. And then relax. Step back to your even pose, your Tadasana, and then transition to the other side. Transition this way. Same thing. So we're in our Warrior 1. And then into Warrior 3. Whoops, I'm a little too close. So you can, just so you know, right, you can transition, you can do this by using the wall. Right, so I can go this way. Alright, and then transition back. The thing I would say is, if you do use a wall or a chair to come into the Warrior 3 version of this, right, just use it very slightly so you're not giving yourself a little push back, because that's going to take all the work out of it. Right, so you really want to come forward. You're in your Warrior 3 and you want to come out, just take the hands off the wall, use the leg to do the work, and come back. Alright, so let's do a few of those. Come into your Warrior 1 to Warrior 3. And then gently bend the knee, step back in control. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale. Exhale. That wasn't a great one. We'll try to do one more good one here. Coming in. And then again, slowly come on back out. And release. Come back to Savasana. Shake out the arms and legs. And just relax. That's a lot of work doing warrior threes. Okay. Grab a block and have that ready. Okay, so we are going to spread our legs nice and wide. Oh, wait a minute. One more Tadasana pose, I forgot. Okay, have your feet in Tadasana, toes together, heels slightly apart, or feet hip width. Then, standing nice and tall. Inhale the arms up. And bring the arms back out to your sides so that they're elbows are at right angles. Arms are spread. These are goddess arms. And here, really start to pull the elbows back. Really feel what happens as you pull your elbows back. The middle of your back, the shoulder blades are going to really squeeze together. Feel that squeeze. Yeah, that's it. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Pull the elbows back a little farther. And then relax and shake out the arms. And then grab your block or book or whatever you have to use. Spread your legs as wide as you can here. Have your hands on your hips. Take a big inhale. And then as you exhale, fold at the waist. Coming all the way over. And bringing your hands down to either whatever you have to support yourself. Could be the block, chair, book, blanket, whatever you got. And we'll start off just by doing some cat-cow-like inhale. So you're going to inhale, lift the head, chest, and shoulders. Exhale, fold all the way over. Inhale, up. Exhale, fold. Again, inhale up. Exhale, fold. Alright, now, from here, either using the block or just walking your hands, walk over to the left side, grab the left leg, and really bring the forehead towards that left knee any amount you can. Keeping the breath nice and steady and even. And then release the hands back to the mat or floor or block or whatever. And then walk the hands over towards the right side. Grab the right leg. Bring the forehead towards the right knee. One last breath. And then walk the hands back to center. Take another couple rounds of breath. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold. Bring your hands to your waist. And then inhale, come on all the way up. And then to come out, heel toe. Heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, until you can relax. Open the window here for a moment. Come back to having your block or book or whatever here. Come back to your Tadasana feet. So toes together or slightly apart. Arms by your side. Take a big inhale. Lift the arms all the way up. And we're in a forward fold. So fold at the waist, bend the knees, soften the knees, letting the hands come down to the block or the floor, whatever it is. And then inhale, come on back up. And do that 4 more times. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Again, inhale up. Exhale, fold, knees bend, fold the waist. Really important to keep the knees bent to take the pressure out of your back. Inhale up. 2 more rounds. Inhale up. Exhale, fold, soft knees. Inhale up. 1 more time. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Just going to stay here for a few rounds of breath here. Letting the head hang. Letting the breath just be nice and steady. And then gently come on back up. Inhale up. Arms back by your sides. And come on out. And relax. All right. Now, from here, I'm going to be facing this way. So we're going to come into a high plank. I'm going to do 1 more forward fold. So inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, bring the hands down to the mat. And you step right out into a high plank. So steady breath here. So your shoulder is right over your wrists. So you're not this way. You're not too far this way. You want that shoulder right over the wrist, nice and straight. Steady breath, heels pressing back, head reaching forward. Two more breaths here. And then lower the knees and come all the way down to the mat. Bring your forearms forward, interlace your fingers. We're going to do a forearm plank. So from here, curl your toes under. There are a couple different ways you can come into this pose actually. You can come in this way, just curl your toes under and press up. If that's hard, another way is to come onto your hands and onto your knees. Have your arms in this position. So your fingers are there interlaced, elbows are in tight. And then you can step back this way. So either way. So we come into our low plank. Nice steady breath. Going to be here for 10 breaths. If you need to come in and out, you come in and out. Doesn't really matter. All right? You do what your body tells you to do. And as you're in this pose, see if you can really work on pressing the heels back, reaching with the crown of the head, pressing with the forearms into the mat. Halfway through, 5 more nice long breaths. Last breath. And then lower the knees, point the toes, and bring the forehead right down to the mat. Bring the hands by your sides. have the tops of your feet pressing into the mat. And we'll do Cobra. So you're going to take a big inhale. Lift the head, chest, shoulders off. So you're lifting the chest up. And then, if it's available to you, bring the hands right off the mat a little bit, just hovering, keeping the chest lifted. And then lower down. Bring your hands to your forehead. Let the air out. Relax for a moment. And then press up. Come on. Onto your back. And from here, we're going to do a supine twist. So a twist from the back. Spread your arms out wide. Cross your left leg over your right. Walk that right foot in as close as you can. Lift up the hips, swing to the left a little bit, and let the knees fall to the right. And, you know, for some of you, I should have grabbed this first, but I'll grab it now. Sometimes when we go into this pose, and we swing our legs over to the side, our opposite shoulder is going to come up off the ground. And when that happens, we're sort of losing the effects of the twist. So what you want to do is have a support, blanket, book, pillow, whatever that is here, and you can go under this leg. And then you adjust it so that it's just at the point where you've gone as far as you can before the shoulder is going to come off the mat. So now I'm really feeling that full twist effect, and I'm still getting a sensation through my outer hip, so I don't lose that sensation. Let my head turn to the left as my gaze goes out over my left fingers here. And come back to your breath. Let the breath be nice and steady and even now as we're starting to wind down our practice. And you'll notice that as you're in this pose, you might be able to adjust this support here, and you'll get a little bit more sensation and room in that outer hip because it's opened up a little bit. So you can kind of let yourself go a little farther as you stay here for a few minutes. As we let the breath come and go. We're here, we're starting to look forward to Savasana. We can begin to let go of the effort, letting the body start to soften and really prepare for Savasana. And then to come out of this pose, turn your head back to center. Bring your legs back up to center. Bring your hips back into the center of the mat. Bring your support over to the other side. Cross the right leg over the left. Walk that left foot in as close as you can. Lift the hips. Swing the hips to the right as the knees fall to the left. And again, notice as my knees come over, my shoulders start to come off the mat a little bit. So I'm going to give myself a little support on this side. Just to keep that shoulder nice and flat. My gaze goes out over my right fingertips. I let my breath become nice and steady and even. Allowing the body to relax into the pose. Letting the body know that Shavasana is coming up soon. You can start to mentally prepare the body and the mind to be in that pose. As I'm in this pose, I might find a little more room and can adjust my support block. Stop it. Thank you. And then to come out of the pose, bring your head back to center, legs back to center, uncross the legs. And we'll prepare for Savasana. So anything you want for Savasana, have that handy. Otherwise, just extend the legs out straight, arms by your side, and bring your full attention to your body, to your back body in particular. So let go. Bring your attention to your breath for one nice long breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale it all out through the mouth. One more time. Exhale. And then from here, let go of any sense of conscious breathing. So that steady, even inhale, exhale you've been working on, we're going to let go of that. We're going to let the breath just go back to its natural state. As we lie here, letting the body start to absorb the effects of the practice, to begin to soften, to begin to quiet, allowing the body the time to recover as we let the body know that no work needs to be done. We're in Savasana. It's going to be effortless. The breath is quiet. The breath is just being there, doing its unconscious thing. So we let our body fold into the mat for Savasana. bring some motion back into your body, moving the fingers and toes. Keeping your eyes closed, roll onto your right side with your knees bent. And keeping your eyes closed, make your way up to a comfortable seated position, sitting up nice and tall. As you're sitting up nice and tall, bring your palms together at your heart center. Recall the intention that you started the practice with today. Acknowledge that intention. Bring a sense of love and gratitude into your heart. And namaste. Thanks for joining Stella and me in this Gentle Yoga Flow today. Hope you enjoyed it. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on the JCC Facebook page, and I'll be happy to answer any questions or provide any feedback that you'd like. So, hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you.